Today here, we are in beautiful San Antonio, and we are at the 7th Annual National Conference for Student Veterans of America. And we have a wide and varied collection of speakers here this weekend, including Vice President Joe Biden, Second Lady Jill Biden, Secretary of Veteran Affairs Robert McDonald. We have Medal of Honor recipients. We have former POWs, and we have other military and academic leaders, as well as business titans who are here to represent their particular organizations and talk to our membership. So the Student Veterans of America is a collective organization of over 1,100 community groups across the United States and in 2 countries overseas. Now, our organization provides the resources and programs for student veterans across the country, and we do this by bringing folks together from across the country at national conferences like this one, as well as provide them with a myriad of other resources. So our organization exists to support them.
On behalf of Student Veterans of America, it is a pleasure to welcome you all to our 7th Annual National Conference. It's a particular pleasure to meet in San Antonio, abounding in military history and culture, home to a consistent military presence for nearly 300 years. SVA's Annual National Conference looks at the challenges and opportunities that military veterans and their families face as they try to reintegrate as students and professionals, and provides the knowledge and tools necessary to build a new life as civilians.
If they can do what they were able to do in the field, they can do whatever needs to be done in the classroom. If you can do what you've done before, then you meet the standard described in Henley's poem Invictus. Because that's what our sons and you remind me of. The closing stanza of the poem Invictus goes, "It matters not how straight the gate, how charged the punishments the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. We need you. Go get that education. Keep the faith, because you are the masters of your fate, and you will determine where your country goes." God bless you all, and may God protect our troops.
My favorite part about the Vice President's speech was how he addressed not only what the veterans can contribute back to America, but also how furthering their education will make a greater impact as well. Really stresses the importance of, I think, the SVA's mission.
Oh, I've loved being here at the SVA convention. I've seen a lot of people, of course, I know from our work in Veterans Affairs. We've gotten some tremendous feedback of things we can do to improve and things we're doing well. And I just see SVA playing a larger and larger role in the life of more and more veterans, particularly the younger veterans who have served in Afghanistan and Iraq.
I'm from Scranton, Pennsylvania. I'm the Director of Military and Veteran Services and the PA certifying official there, and it's a very inconsistent program. Our veterans are actually leaving the program and choosing to do post 9/11 JAGO because they're having such a difficult time with the VOC rehab program. And I just want to bring it to your attention because it's so inconsistent both across the state and the country. I feel as though veterans aren't utilizing the program that they should be utilizing.
That's a great program. Obviously, in anything like that, we have a counselor, a mentor, whatever. If they're not properly trained and not properly selected, you're going to have unevenness. So I got it. That's what we need to get after. We're taking notes.
Thank you.
And this is in Scranton?
This is in Scranton, Pennsylvania, yes.
Okay, if you want to give us names or anything, just see me.
I will most definitely give you a name.
Having the Secretary of the Veterans Administration today down here was a good thing for him to physically see what was going on. Now that we know that Vice President Biden and his wife are going to be here, that shows what Student Veterans of America is promoting across the United States. Is getting officials' attention to the veterans' needs and the possibilities for them to get through their college education and to move on to careers and better themselves.
The thing that really stood out to me the most about his speech was really the way that he was ready to address issues on the spot. I mean, people came to him with very specific, detailed information. He was asking for very detailed, specific information. And I mean, he had someone taking it down for him. I mean, he seemed like he was on it, and that really stood out to me, and that's really going to stick with me, I believe.
The VFW was proud to have hosted the SVA Leadership Summit 3 months ago in October in Kansas City. And the VFW wants to ensure that America's student veterans have the opportunity to make your voices heard far beyond your campus or your community. That's why we have teamed up with SVA on a new initiative launched this past fall, a legislative fellowship opportunity. The legislative fellowship allows you to participate in the VFW's legislative conference in Washington, D.C. from March the 1st to the 5th by walking the halls of Congress, educating your legislators on the issues you and your peers face as student veterans in today's world. You will also have the opportunity to meet directly with leadership from the committees of jurisdiction on veterans issues, to include the House and Senate Veterans Affairs committees.
There's a lot of great information here that's being passed out with the veterans and what we can do to help the veterans in college. But I think the number one greatest thing about this event is the ability to network with everyone that's here, like-minded, and trying to help out our veterans that are trying to go to college, trying to get a job, and something that they deserve. And being a vet myself, I understand that, and I really want to encourage it.
What SVA provides, I think that's most important, is mentorship and career preparation to get into the workforce. I think that the most important thing that any college or student organization can provide is jobs for veterans.
Bank of America wants to help the students to know that we are a company that hires not only accountants and financial experts, but also information technology professionals, customer service, sales. It's just like everyone in the Air Force is not a pilot. Not everyone at Bank of America is a banker. So lots of experiences in the military relate directly to the employment opportunities at Bank of America.
We're passionate about serving veterans in the state of Texas, and I know all my counterparts, I see them a couple times a year at conferences, and I know they are too. And what you're doing is amazing. What I understood was in the last 5 years, you went from 100 student veteran organizations to about 1,200. That's unbelievable. And I
I'm the president of the UH chapter, and I'm looking forward to networking with other presidents of other chapters just to get a baseline of what they're doing, how we can implement that in our chapter and help them out as well.
One thing that I'm really surprised to see is the mindfulness in the morning. Self-care is very important to taking care of oneself, especially dealing with PTSD and adjusting to civilian life and collegiate life. And so I was really pleased, believe it or not, to see that there was some mindfulness training on the agenda.
We are a resource and referral network across the state, assisting transitioning veterans coming back home to Texas, helping connect with local resources and employment opportunities. The program started back in 2008, and what we do is connect with local community organizations, get to know who the resources are. That way we're able to better connect those veterans that are coming back home.
This is actually Auburn's first year being here at the Student Veterans Conference. In capacity at Auburn University, our main goal is to help the student veteran in any way, shape, or form with Veterans Affairs issues, with residency issues, with educational benefits, pretty much anything that the veteran needs, we do in one-stop shop at Auburn University.
Even though I got older, Joe Sargent Johnson is still there pushing me for that education. And I was very proud to walk across the stage at my community college with Associates of Arts. My original plan was to go to culinary school in New York, but I said, why put off tomorrow what I can do today and be home and still be with my daughter and continue my culinary education.
I think it's very important for veterans to have that association with other veterans, to know information about using every benefit that we have available to us, and also how to use that connection, that veteran connection, to go on and get jobs and help out fellow veterans.
We had also the opportunity to meet a lot of new members and new universities that came to this convention. We're really happy to see new members be more active and get greater participation from the state universities as well as the community colleges. It gives us a real opportunity to share best practices, some of our experiences, some of the difficulties we're finding back home that they're not just unique to us. They're problems and issues that students and veterans nationwide are facing. One of the issues that I've been approached about a lot this convention is some of the other universities are wondering how Arizona State University has managed to get such a great community involvement, such great buy-in from the university, from the staff, especially from the undergraduate student government. They heard the great support that we have back home with everyone, and they're wondering how we can help them build the same in their universities. So as we wrap things up, we're really thinking about some of the things that we can work on when we get back to ASU and when some of these universities get back home. We found that this has been a very productive convention and that we are very much looking forward to the next one in Orlando.